It looks like all our problems are solved. Welcome to the Jade Chamber.
Oh, great. I have no idea what we would have done otherwise.
I didn't think we'd really manage to get you here.
This was a last-minute situation, and you're the one we trust the most.
To put it simply, we are just looking for the right person to help. We had a very long discussion about it, but to no avail. I have tasked my 3 most trusted secretaries with overseeing an important auction tomorrow. This, however, leaves their regular duties unattended to, and the work cannot afford to go undone. The nature of their day-to-day work is highly sensitive and confidential, so whomever I ask to fill in needs to be someone I can trust, and who doesn't have a conflict of interest. Yes, you were the person who came to mind. We may not have spent a great deal of time together, but I do place a great deal of trust in you. To me, this work is highly sensitive and of utmost importance, though I'm sure you'll find it to be mundane at best. It would not surprise me if you can't bear the tedium or can't make the time. And yet, despite this, I thought it could do no harm to ask the question, on the off chance that you are interested. As it happens, I was just having a discussion on backup plans with my secretaries before you arrived.
But the outcome of that discussion was that we couldn't think of a suitable alternative.
This is a good reminder that we should always have a contingency plan for everything.
Anyway, this may add to the debt of gratitude I owe you, but the fact is, your arrival here has rescued what was fast becoming a rather dire situation indeed. I wouldn't worry. It's all work you'll be quite familiar with. Planning trips, gathering pertinent information, that sort of thing. All basic skills required by competent adventurers, if I'm not mistaken.
If you have any questions about your work, I will answer them shortly. The administrative work Lady Ningguang touched upon just now is only one aspect. You'll also be required to cater for Lady Ningguang's basic daily needs, such as clothing and meals, and be on call for any other requests she may have.
Don't be mistaken. I won't put you in a difficult position, and I will fully respect your judgment. All right. Please proceed to the office. Bai Shi will go over the work with you in more detail.
Before I get into specifics, I want to start by giving you the big picture. As a member of the Liyue Qixing, Lady Ningguang's every move is in the spotlight. Maintaining her perfect image at all times is absolutely essential. My usual job is to be her right hand, to maintain her image and take care of all her worries. For example, arranging her daily schedule, picking out clothes for her, dressing her, applying her perfume. You misunderstand me. I am simply trying to impress upon you the sheer importance of the work you will be undertaking.
Bai Shi has always been very passionate about her work. I can leave any task in her capable hands and rest assured that her performance will be nothing short of exemplary. I'm sure she was simply trying to share some of her enthusiasm, in the hopes that you may find it infectious.
Thank you, Lady Ningguang. Back to the topic at hand. Let's get into the details. Bai Xiao and Bai Wen handle tasks that require enormous experience, while I'm mainly responsible for organizing her daily schedule and making sure she is well fed, dressed for any occasion, and that all her needs are met. I can go through the methods I use and give you some pointers based on my experience to ensure that you are fully equipped to perform your duties. All in a day's work for the traveler, Great, then I'll skip that and just get to the handover of duties. Currently, there are 133 items that have yet to be scheduled, 17 of which are high importance, and... Yes, I did try to make a start in advance, but only got as far as roughly prioritizing the tasks before I ran out of time. I'll go through the most important items with you in more detail. If there's anything you don't understand, feel free to stop me with questions at any point. First is the periodic meeting with the representatives of the 8 trades. After that, fielding opinions on revisions to the current tax legislation. Then, a discussion with Lady Kuching on issues relating to time restrictions on land conveyance deals. Following that, there's a Q&A session with all the major commerce guilds. Right after that, there's... Yes, you do. To the uninitiated, scheduling may sound like a simple process of matching tasks to time slots, but there is actually far more to it than that. You need to take travel time into account, along with a whole spectrum of potential issues that can arise. Ample knowledge of all outside factors that may weigh upon your Plan A is essential to devise a workable contingency plan. I assume this is all making sense. Unless you had any other questions at this point? Good. Then let's press on. We're tight on time here, and there's a lot to get through. And we still need to leave enough time for you to prepare Lady Ningguang's schedule. Already? Wow. You're a fast learner. Very good. This will be much more efficient.
Wonderful. Then I'll be counting on you to provide my schedule for tomorrow. I'm grateful for your assistance. Now, I will leave you here in peace to proceed with your work. I still have a few items from today's schedules that need addressing. If anything else is unclear, you can ask Bai Shi.
Take care, Lady Ningguang. Don't you think that this schedule is a bit of a light load? Yeah, that's true. Lady Ningguang has a lot of work to attend to, and frankly, she doesn't have many opportunities to rest. We do sometimes worry about her health, but her attitude is very Mora-driven. If by taking a break there's a chance she'll lose Mora, she'll never agree to it. Huh. I see where you're coming from. Yes, you have a point. All right then, let's go with your plan. I'm sure Lady Ningguang has plenty she wants to talk about with you. There's a lot of things that need doing over at the auction venue, so I will be leaving you now. I hope so too. You must be exhausted. Make sure you get an early night tonight.
Yes, I'm already awake. I'll be out in a moment. I'm just changing. Good morning. Did you sleep well? Oh, how strange. Me too. I'm joking, of course. I slept like a baby. Sorry to disappoint you. So, what's item 1 on today's schedule? I imagine this must have taken Bai Shi completely by surprise. Sure, there's no harm in changing my schedule around once in a while. My schedule is usually very tightly packed, and any extra time I can squeeze out is spent on preparing for the future. So, it'll be quite nice to take a break. I don't often feel tired. Seeing the Mora come in has a way of making me feel quite invigorated. Still, your idea is very sensible. Mora can only lift a weary spirit. It cannot alleviate physical fatigue. So then, the days ahead of us. Any ideas on how to spend it? Something I never have the opportunity to do. Interesting. Before I decide, I'd like to know, what gave you this idea? Because as far as most people are concerned, Mora is the key to any and all opportunities. Yes, you're absolutely right. This is what I appreciate about you. You see things the way they are, rather than how they appear. I want to do something a little self-indulgent. Is that okay by you? Thank you. All right, here it is. I've always thought it would be fun to recapture what life was like before I joined the Liu Qixing. I was born into a humble family, and all the wealth you see now began with a single haul of fish. I had to. I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. Fishing isn't the half of it. You'd be amazed at some of the odd jobs I've worked in my time. A lot of the old folks like to brag about how I used to be their errand runner back in the day. They were tough times, but I had a clear goal and plenty of motivation. If I didn't make any money in the morning, I'd have no food for lunch. I guess that's why I came to be so obsessed with Mora. I want to relive that time for my life, feel some of that drive again, take a trip down memory lane. So how about it? Will you join me? Great. Then let me lay down the ground rules. We're not to use our status or reputation in Liyue Harbor to our advantage, and we have no starting capital. The goal is to see how much more we can make under these conditions. I can see why you'd suggest that. You're thinking I could use my knowledge of how Mora works to my advantage and make a lot of money there. But Northland Bank is a special case. I rather suspect I would not be welcome there. Yes, and also... Never mind. I'll just show you. It won't eat up too much time. I expect they still hold a grudge against me to this day.
Lady Ningguang, I would hope that you're not here to create further trouble for the Fatui. With all due respect, too much official pressure will risk driving our bank out of business.
There's no need to be so hostile. I'm just here to talk business. So, are you in business or not?
That depends on the proposal, and it's not my decision alone. But first, tell me, why should we believe that you really are here for business? Because if you're here to make us suffer huge losses like last time, then I'm sorry, but none of us here can afford that.
Straight to the point, I see. Works for me. Traveler, we're leaving. Let's not waste any more of our time here. Do you see what I mean now? Their attitude was just as I expected. That's for sure. Although our diplomatic relations with Snezhnaya haven't broken down completely. I dealt them a rather ruthless blow with the size of the reparations payment I imposed. This sum was paid by Northland Bank, so they are still wary of me to this day. Yes, with some exceptions, but that is more or less correct. If you encounter them in any other nations during your travels, be on your guard. They are more than just a commercial organization. That's okay. My intention here was to show you some of the repercussions of that great battle. But that's quite enough politics for today. Let's get back to our fun little survival game. Now that you mention it, yes. We're being watched. What are they plotting this time? My thoughts exactly. But we need to be discreet. If they realize we're onto them, then we'll lose the element of surprise. Let's act natural, determine who our tail is, then lure them somewhere more deserted so we can catch them. Keep moving, just walk forward at a normal pace and don't do anything to give away that we suspect anything.
Join the Adventurers Guild. You'll have a blast.
Your cuisine will surely prevail at this year's MasterChefs.
Jewelry's out of stock, but we have some new items.
items in.
Okay, I think we have a few potential suspects. There's a lot of foot traffic here, but if you look closely, you'll see only a handful of people have been watching us constantly. But I'm still not sure which of them is our tail. Agreed. Whoever it is will continue to follow us.
Jewelry's out of stock, but we have some new items in.
I think we've narrowed it down a little further. But let's stay calm until we're 100% sure. It shouldn't take much longer. I think I have the answer. Let's get out of his line of sight and sneak up on him. Don't get the wrong person, though, or all our efforts will have been for nothing.
Ugh, what are you doing?
Come now. Did you really think we wouldn't notice you sneaking around?
What? I'm not doing anything.
I don't know what scheme Northland Bank has in the works, and I don't know what they're paying you. But let's make a deal. How cooperative you are now decides how much immunity I give you when this gets investigated. Or do you seriously think Northland Bank won't throw you to the wolves when push comes to shove? Why don't you weigh the pros and cons and give me a clear answer before I retract my offer?
Sorry, Lady Ningguang. My assignment was just to follow you, I promise, that's it. When you showed up unannounced at Northland Bank, everyone was instantly on high alert. We figured you must be up to something, but your brief conversation left us none the wiser as to your intentions. We couldn't just overlook it. We had to get to the bottom of it before we could put our minds at rest.
I know they're wary of me, but this is still an overreaction, surely. This all feels very suspicious. There must be more to this than he is letting on. I only took you there to demonstrate how tense things are. Somehow we only tested the waters, but ended up with the catch of the day. Is there anyone else following us besides you?
Yes. They would have seen this and reported back.
Then we need to get moving. The longer they have to react, the fewer clues they'll leave behind. No time. I'll just have to improvise. Keep him with you. Do not let him slip away.
Are you saying that Ningguang hasn't done anything? Impossible. She wouldn't have shown up here out of the blue without good reason. Keep investigating. We must ascertain her intentions.
So much commotion. This must be an important meeting.
Oh, great.
It looks like I wasn't supposed to be privy to the contents of this particular meeting. This simplifies things.
So, you are here to investigate us after all. Where did you get wind of this?
That doesn't matter. What matters is that I made a brief and inconsequential visit, and your first reaction was to immediately arrange a sizable surveillance operation with myself as the target. You couldn't have advertised your guilty conscience more clearly if you'd tried. You may as well come clean. You know I will not turn a blind eye to any violation of the rules in Liyue Harbor.
Even if we cooperate with her investigation, she's bound to find problems even where there are none. Well, if you're such a stickler for the rules, you can carry out your investigation by the book. The Northland Bank has no obligation to cooperate, even with a member of the Liyue Qixing.
Fine by me. Then I'll take my time. But you'll be begging to tell me everything by the time I'm through.